Welcome to Big Life Weekly Series, where we empower high achievers to break free from limits, unlock their natural potential, and live a big life. I'm your host, Robert Acosta, and each week we will explore the strategies, mindsets, and tools you need to thrive, not just in your professional career, but in every aspect of your life. Whether you're a leader looking for a better balanced life, an entrepreneur aiming for sustainable success, or someone ready to take the next step toward your best self, this podcast is your space to grow, reflect, and take action. Let's dive into today's episode. Hello, I'm Robert Acosta. I'm with Cheryl Willberg from City Shred in Toronto, Canada. Welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you so much, Robert. Such a pleasure to be on here with you today.
Oh, the pleasure is mine. So let's get started right away so we can showcase your business because today, as I said, you are the protagonist. So Cheryl, can you give us a 90-second overview of what your business does and why you got into it?
Yeah, absolutely. So City Shred is an event series for life athletes. So life athlete is anyone who shows up, gives their personal 100 without comparing themselves to other people, and someone who understands the importance of spending time with positive people who are cheering themselves and others on. So my business consists of, I like to say that I'm in the business of curating events around energy and motivation. So often around movement, fitness. So it's a big workout that we come together. And the point of it is for people to just feel that positive energy. I think my goal really is for people to come and experience something and hopefully the next day wake up and think, wow, that was incredible. I was just around 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people that were cheering me on. I love that. Where do I find more of that in my life? And then further to that, around the outskirts of my business acts as an experiential trade show for all of my partners and sponsors. And I think it is the perfect opportunity for people to be connecting with their direct consumer because people are in this incredible state of positivity. They feel open, they're ready to learn about stuff. So this just really marries together the importance of connection and community, and then the opportunity for brand partners and sponsors to connect with their direct audience.
Oh, that's amazing. So how did you start this business? So what motivated you to do this?
Of course. I started going to boutique gyms, I think probably back in 2015, and I would walk into a room and there'd be 20 or 30 people and I would know no one there. Yet 100% of the time I would leave, I'd feel incredible. And that's something that I started to think about. Often there would be times, maybe you're with colleagues, friends, or even family, where you don't feel 100% positive. And so it makes you kind of think about the people that you're surrounded. And so that was something that I really dug into. And I think when it comes to the world of fitness or movement, anyone can go online, we can grab a workout, go to the gym, and we can get it done. But what was really interesting is that these trainers and coaches, they curate workouts around energy and motivation. And therefore we come together and we always leave feeling better for it. So another thing that I really realized at this time in the event space is that unless people had 1 million followers on Instagram or on social media, they would never really have the platform to be able to execute this incredible energy that they were showing to very few people. So I wanted to create a platform because I believe that these coaches and trainers are really like our health heroes and give them an opportunity to energize and motivate not just hundreds but thousands of people. So it was something that I became really, I'd like to say, healthily obsessed with. And at that same time, I also owned a PR and marketing firm. So my love for fitness and community married with my love for strategy and business development really helped me put together this opportunity. And it's something that I started in 2018 and I've been incredibly passionate about ever since.
Wow, that's great that you're leveraging all your talents, all your skills, and all the passion that you feel. So what do you enjoy the most about your work in this motivational fitness business that you have?
Honestly, I think what I enjoy the most is seeing people smile through a little bit of pain, I guess. I mean, we have this tough, 2-hour workout, or we host elevation runs, and it's tough. But at the end of the day, there's one thing that I know for sure. When you're around other people that are cheering you on, you don't even think about it. So being able to see people pushing through a hard 2-hour workout, we also start this workout with an optional 10-minute burpee challenge with a partner. So if you can get through 10 minutes of burpees and then 2 hours of a tough workout and you're still smiling, that means that I've done my job. And that, I think, is truly what makes me feel the best about the work that I do, because I think that positivity and smiling is contagious, and we all need more of that in our lives. And I think that, it's not just about picking up a book, or reading something online, or listening to a podcast about how important it is in life to be surrounded by great people or to feel positive, but this is an opportunity to feel it. And in life, I believe we're all chasing a feeling, whether we know it or not. And this is a great opportunity for people to learn that without even knowing that they're doing that. And that's really what brings me so much joy.
Yes, honestly, I understand it perfectly. I'm an athlete myself. I've been a swimmer for more than 50 years. And I know,
Amazing.
yeah, so I know that feeling of suffering, but at the end, enjoying every moment, because you know what is going to be at the end. The feeling at the end, it's amazing. So it's worth it. Whatever you're suffering, or whatever sacrifice, or whatever pain, as you mentioned, you are putting in the process, you're going to do it anyways, because you want the result. You know the result is coming, and that's exactly why you are doing it. So it's
I
good that
love
you connect the feeling and the motivation with the
Yes.
with the
I'm
sport in
also
this case.
I'm also a triathlete, so I
Oh,
know your world of swimming very well.
great. So it's difficult when you work with people, and now physically and of course mentally. But how do you define success in the work you do?
I think that over the years, I've defined success very differently. I think, when we're first starting out or wanting to be an entrepreneur, or, we're thinking about money and finances, what it is that we might be able to achieve in sort of the world of things. And now I think that success has changed a lot for me. Of course, I run a business, so, want to be profitable. That's very important. But I think that defining success is really sort of, for me, watching this community grow, seeing how many people we're able to support and help. We work with a lot of local charities wherever it is that we're popping up. So I think the success for me is just like inner peace and joy. I feel, finally in a point of my life, having multiple businesses where I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And that's an incredible feeling. So I think that, when I'm sort of thinking about the world of success, it's like, how can I continue to expand my business, from a point of knowing that human connection is super important, and this is something that we all need.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can detect that you have that chip of entrepreneurship. So I'm just curious, what is the biggest problem or challenge you see in your industry, in the industry of fitness, motivational fitness, and how you're solving that for yourself, your clients, and even referral partners?
Well, I'll give you one example. I just launched a new event called Elevate, and it's an elevation run. And of course, we're running elevation, but we're also talking about the importance of elevating yourself and those around you. And one of the most important thing for me in that space is we don't just celebrate the top 3 people to come through the finish line. We've created an opportunity where we host these Life Athlete Awards. And what that does is we allow people to nominate people in the community that are doing inspiring, motivating things. And the reason why I think that is so important is that a lot of times in races, as an example, or fitness, we're celebrating people for a certain look. And really the way that we look is just a byproduct of everything that is mental. So I wanted to create these Life Athlete Awards because in the running community, for example, I always thought it was so interesting. People would train 4, 5, 6 a year, months or two up to a year to run their very first marathon. They cross the finish line, of course we get our medal and you go home. And it's only the top people that actually go to an award ceremony. Yet it's the mid-pack to backpack people that are the ones inspiring and motivating other people to say, hey, look, I can do that too. And so I want to create opportunities for people to be able to celebrate any and all of their wins, because 100% effort is 100% effort. So it's not necessarily sort of, if you will, a challenge, but it is something that will continue to get more people out there trying new things and being okay with being uncomfortable. So I think that that is something that I'm really trying to lean into and to change when it comes to the fitness industry, because fitness is incredible. I mean, one day you can wake up and do 1 push-up, and the next day you can wake up and you can do 3 push-ups. And that is an incredible win that should be celebrated. So that's something that I talk a lot about. It's the celebration piece. And we don't just celebrate to win. We don't just celebrate the win, we celebrate to win.
Yeah, I think in that matter, everybody can do that. Everybody can start or do that process or feel or experiment that progress. But because I know you're stronger than you think, and you're stronger mentally than physically, but your mind sometimes makes you tricks and makes you stop. But so you can work, I know, with any kind of people. I know everybody can do this or start doing this, but who is your ideal client and what significant outcomes can you expect when they working with you?
So I guess when I'm looking at my business, I have, 2 parts. So of course, my sponsor partner for sure is my client. That is really the revenue model behind my business. So working with clients to create unique opportunities and connect better and directly with the consumer audience. And then of course, my client in terms of my community. And to be honest with you, marketing is very interesting when it comes to City Shred, because we see people on the turf that are former athletes to people that are first time or just kind of joining into the fitness world and on their journey. And we connect with everyone because at the end of the day, what we do is all body weight and most of it is based on time. So if you have a minute and you can execute 5 push-ups or you can execute 20 push-ups, it actually doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that we're curating that opportunity where people are being celebrated and cheered on. So I think that lots of people are going through different things in life, no matter where you are, starting out or at the peak of your career. And again, it just goes back to the fact that human connection and positive energy is extremely important. So I think that when people come out to be at City Shred, that is really what they can expect, to leave with an incredibly positive experience and that important feeling of connection.
Yeah, that connection is vital. But some people are looking for that directly or to something that they don't know what it is in order to get their outcomes. And sometimes they find that connection was the missing link, right? So how nowadays more people are actively seeking solutions to achieve better outcomes, whatever outcomes is for those people. So what makes you unique in the way you help them achieve those outcomes?
I think what makes me unique is how meticulously I am at curating these opportunities. I do not show up hoping for a good outcome. It is planned. We have a training team of over 30, 40 trainers and coaches that are on the field at one time. And the reason for that is when you're hosting a workout with 1,500 people or 2,000 people and you're in a football field, I want to make sure that everyone from the far right to the far left is feeling validated, feeling seen, feeling heard. These things are important. I'm bringing in people that are motivational speakers. And as an example, people have asked me for years, like, why don't you hire, XYZ to come in and speak? And I said, I don't need to hire anyone to speak. We have so many incredible people right here where I'm popping up in this city that have overcome things that are far more relatable than someone that has been on a major stage for 5 or 10 years. So what I'm trying to do is really find those pieces. And as I mentioned before, chasing that feeling. We know that, like, whether it's like nostalgia or, your heartstrings, inspiration, all of these things. So for me, it is very, very meticulous how I go about creating this day and documenting the day. So I think that's really what it's all about, and that's what makes me truly unique. I'm so focused on the feeling. It's not the workout, it's not the activity. I really believe that we could be anywhere in the world. As long as you're with great people, you're going to have a great time, and you're going to share with your friends the next time that I'm hosting City Shred to say you need to come out with me. So I kind of like to say that I reverse engineer the way that I'm doing things and start with the feelings. How do I work up to create these bigger moments? And that's really what kind of has captured my audience and I think delivered the kind of success that makes me really happy.
Yeah, I guess you have a lot of returning clients because once they get that feeling, they're gonna come back for the feeling. Exactly, not for exactly if they did a good job or not, because that's not the important thing. So, yeah, I think it's amazing working with people of any kind of people, and but knowing that every single one are the same. We are the same. We're looking to be happy and avoid suffering. So we all want the same thing. So we are going to the feeling. Being happy because it's a feeling. So working with all kind of people, let me ask you this question. What's the strangest or funniest incident while working with your motivational fitness business or in your industry? Is there something that you can share that is funny or really strange or weird that happened to you?
Oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of something funny or strange. I think it's always funny, or just like there's all sorts of like funny or cute moments that we go through, like learning about each other, but nothing really funny or strange. I mean, everything is uplifting and amazing. So maybe I just don't even really remember things that
It's
would be funny
okay.
or strange. I mean, I was mapping out a course on a mountain last year with one of my former coaches who was incredible, and wanted to create a partnership with him because he had done so much for me in my life and so much as a coach. So I knew that he would be a really great partner for me. So it was really funny because he was kind of heckling me as we were going down the mountain, saying that, my people weren't trail runners, but him in this world, all of his people that were showing up for this event were going to be so amazing. And as I was filming him as he was heckling me, and in that moment, he did like a total butt slide, like all the way down. So that was actually really funny, and he's going to hate me for saying this. But that was actually amazing because I had it on record and we were just having a really great fun time. So, I mean, there's always funny times, and yeah, that's what makes it.
Yeah, well, that's a really good example. Yeah, well, hopefully he's gonna hear this and he's gonna laugh again.
Yeah.
So, what do you see as the coming trends within your business? So, because there are a lot of clubs, a lot of fitness industry, well, a lot of fitness business with trying to invent the wheel. I don't know, but what do you see as the coming trends within your business, and how are you staying on top of those trends?
So I think there's a couple things when it comes to the fitness industry that I see, especially coming out of the pandemic. I mean, it's always an interesting topic now because
Mhm.
there's no real historical data at this point because so much has changed since the pandemic. But I think that there's two things that people are really trying to do from like a fitness, I guess, club perspective is one sort of offering people an all-in-one experience. So an opportunity to, walk through one-stop shop. You have like your recovery, your working out, your nutrition, this whole piece. And then second to that, I think, what has sort of came back is the importance of community. I think that from the before the pandemic, community and boutique gyms were certainly on a rise and there was no slowing down. And then the pandemic hit and there was, of course, people that were really scared about that part of it. But I think people are really coming back to the fact of understanding that what makes us successful walking through the doors is seeing smiling faces and feeling energized and these sort of things. So I'd say that those are probably the top things. I mean, recovery right now is so huge in the world of fitness, health, wellness, and longevity, which makes me so happy because I know that without proper sleep and recovery, I am not the athlete that I would want to be, or just entrepreneur, human being, all of those sort of things. It's all transferable in life. So for me to stay on top of all of these things, I really focus on the community aspect. And I guess one of the things for me is strategic partnerships. So I create as many strategic partnerships as I can with coaches, trainers, and fitness facilities. And the reason why I do that, one, is because I'm only hosting a couple events a year. So they are the ones that are doing the heavy lifting day in and day out. So I actually act as a free marketing hub for gyms, trainers, and coaches, so that even though, I'm not hosting an event, I can continuously, one, provide value to my partners, and more importantly, provide value to my community. So that's really what keeps me sort of on top, is the fact that I'm always looking at business from a value proposition. How do I continue to add value to my community? And if I'm constantly doing that, then when I'm having an event, not only are these gyms, coaches, and trainers excited about promoting City Shred, we've built the community together. We're all in this. We all win together. So that's kind of how I stay sort of at the top or leveling up my game.
Yeah, that's amazing. It looks like you have everything figured it out, right? So, but
Yeah.
let's talk about the future. Let's go a little bit ahead. So, what is the next growth area for you personally, as an entrepreneur, let's say, and for your business?
And when you're asking me like personally, like outside of City Shred,
Yeah, could be both. Personally, how you want to grow as a person, and then how that person is going to help your business. So you're a person first, and
yes.
then you have a business, not the other way around. So personally, what is the area of growth that you see for yourself, and then how you're going to apply that in order to grow your business?
Absolutely. So as I had mentioned, I'm a triathlete and I'm very big on goal setting. And I think I had mentioned quite a few times, sort of just like the power of mindset. I'm also a certified mindset coach. So a lot of my personal growth, I like to pair physical and mental goals together. As I mentioned, the 1 push-up and the 3 push-ups. And the reason why I do that is because one of the things that I acknowledge is that doing personal development, whether it's going to therapy, whatever it is that you're choosing to do, it's not something that we can see. And that's the reason why the fitness industry is, of course, always booming, because we can see physical results. So I like to pair physical and mental goals together, because as I'm continuously getting stronger as an athlete, I have to believe that that is also the indication that I'm getting stronger mentally. So I use right now, and I've done many things over the years. I did a boxing match to overcome anxiety. I've done lots of things, but right now I am using triathlon to prove this method. And I started triathlon 4 years ago, and I just continuously create these really big, scary goals, and I work towards them. And those goals that I'm able to accomplish and celebrate is what really truly gives me the fuel to bring that back into my business. And, as an example, I show up to different run clubs. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting was that you go to a run club and people already have this sort of like figured out in terms of these are the slow people and these are the fast people. And if you think you're slow, you're slow. And if you think you're fast and you want to get faster and you're running with the faster people to get faster, you will get faster. So for me, when it comes to triathlon, I'm not just creating a goal of I want to complete it. I am creating goals like coming first place, hitting a podium, running a sub 18 5-kilometer, whatever it may be. But I am constantly making physical goals, utilizing the power of my mind and documenting my feelings before I go into any race, because that's the most important thing to me. How did I feel going into that? Did I believe in myself? What was my support system? Did they believe in me? And then I go out and I execute it, and it's fascinating because based on the way that I feel always dictates the result. It doesn't mean that I'm always happy with my results at the end, but then I'm able to reframe how it went down. I find those mental PBs, I learn something, and I come back stronger. So I'm really utilizing triathlon right now to continue to push my limits. And I bring back the point of celebration, the feelings that I have, the support system of my coaches, traveling the world, meeting people that I don't speak the same language as, but I'm sharing the same energy as, and how that fuels me. And I bring that back and I utilize it to continue to grow City Shred. So I have lots of stuff sort of in store. And my big thing this year is launching City Shred into the US market.
Yeah, I think the core of what you're saying is that connection of mind and body. It's an energy connection. So both our minds and our body are made of the same energy. So making that connection, I would say it's easy. Well, it's always connected, but not always we recognize it, or we find that connection, and we think there are two different things. And that's why me as a coach myself, I always say that when people ask me, how do I know that I'm thinking the right thing, that I have the right mindset? Well, it's easy. Look at your results. If your results are not the ones that you want, it's because there's something that you are thinking that is not conducive to those results, or they are not in alignment. So that's the only way you personally can figure that out. But that connection is something that everyone needs to understand and practice all the time. That's the only way you're gonna grow. That's the only way you're gonna see your blind spots, and then you're gonna progress in whatever you want to achieve, right?
I love that. I love that you say that to your athletes. I think that's so important. That's amazing.
I always say to an athlete, mindset is 90%. 90% of your success is your mindset. The other 10% or 5% would be what you physically develop. But you need this engine really tune up. Otherwise, you can have talent, you can have a strong body, but if you don't have the mindset, you're doomed. So, and that happens all the time. So let me ask you this funny question now. So if you could have lunch with one person, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Okay, I had to think about this. So I resonate so much with like Kobe Bryant. I think, if I would be able to go back and have lunch with Kobe Bryant, but also like my younger self. So I'm trying, when I read that question, so I would say if I wasn't going to say my younger self, I would probably say I'd want to have lunch with Kobe Bryant. I just think that his mindset is or was so incredible. I mean, really, it's no doubt that he was one of the greatest. I just like the relentless determination to chase perfection. And I think one of the things that he said was that he chases perfection because he knew that you could never reach perfection. So if you were constantly trying to chase something that you would never be able to reach, you would constantly be competing with yourself. And I love that. And I feel like I'm obviously, really connected to mindset. And when you see his results, to our point of what you were just saying in terms of speaking to your athletes, it is absolutely no doubt that he was one of the greatest. And I'm always so curious, when we talk about talent, mindset, and there's a lot of really talented people out there, but is it like the talent, the physical talent, or the talent of controlling your mind? And I think that conversation and that lunch with him would be incredible.
Well, I think you're applying his concepts already when you said that you are pursuing big goals, crazy goals, you said, because in a way you said it, goals are not to achieve, goals are to grow. So if you set a goal that you can achieve, and that's why I don't like that smart thing, smart goals, no. It has not to be achievable. It has to be big. It has to be something that you really want. And if you set that goal, and I also sometimes call it a purpose, that you will never in your life gonna reach, but you never gonna stop. Every day you're gonna wake up and say, I'm working for my goal or my purpose. And since you're not getting there, or you're not gonna achieve it, let's say, quote unquote, you never stop. So you have fuel for the rest of your life, waking up, working for your goal or purpose, if those goals are really big, or that goal is really unattainable, but doing something during your time, so you are growing. That's the purpose of a good goal. And I think you said it when you say, I set up goals that are crazy. So I think that's what you meant, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what is the best way for people to contact you if they like to work with you or discuss our referral partnerships that I know you do a lot?
Of course. People can connect with me, I think, various ways. Via email, so Cheryl at city-shred.com, or on Instagram at PR or through my company's Instagram, which is at city-shred. And I would love to connect with anyone, for multiple reasons, whether it's just to connect over coffee and mindset, or business strategies, City Shred, partnerships, whatever it may be.
Well, that is amazing. So I truly enjoyed our conversation. Thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast.
Thank you so much, Robert. It was such a pleasure to speak with you today.
Thank you for joining me on Big Life Weekly series. I hope today's episode gave you the insight, inspiration, and tools you need to move closer to the life you're meant to live. Remember, true success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about how you feel while you're achieving it. If you found value in our conversation, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with others who are ready to embrace their big life. Until next time, stay focused, keep growing, enjoy life, and break free.